650 plus people, am I correct? Okay, I'm in class and I thank you for coming. This is probably 16th year I've been here, and this year also making my record number of speeches, including this one. I have to deliver 23 speeches, including the one I really hate. It was too early. Breakfast program on City TV, 7:10 a.m. Okay, on the 27th, Chinese New Year. And then the same night I had to count down at Market Village. And then Chinese New Year Day, I had to deliver 4 speeches at 4 different locations back to back. So anybody want to be my chauffeur? So that's what's going on for this year. Okay. Now, 2017 is a changeover year, very important year. Now, anybody in the financial market here? Good. Anybody in the real estate market here? I heard your friend Justin Hua. He's a real estate broker. Now, notice for any business sector you're in, there's something called cycles. Agree with me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, every country has a life cycle 20 years. And every 10 years will be quite a significant change. And every human is the same. So different business and different cycles. But every location will go through 9-year cycles. So every 9 years, things seem to repeat a bit. Okay, so this part of Feng Shui. Now, I hate to say that 90% of people you know that practice Feng Shui flukes. No real. A lot of people want to get out there and make money quick. So be very careful about those people, the good and the sorry people. Feng Shui, which is from I Ching. I Ching is a very ancient book of the universe, written about 5,000 years ago, talking about the universe, talking about how life changed from time to time. And that is the first computer in the world. I Ching is strictly 0 and 1. It's binary mathematics. And I had a big advantage because I was a computer scientist from University of Waterloo. Okay, and business and me from U of T. So my background helped me a lot with this mathematical background. And 5 years ago, I spoke 3.5 hours at the University of Beijing on I Ching, and quite a few professors attended my seminar. And I spoke through the 3.5 hours without a single word of notes. I think that was purposely to impress them. Something like that. I spoke at the same hall where Bill Clinton spoke. Difference was, I heard, he charged $250,000 US. I charged 0. That's the only difference. My seminar project was more useful than Bill Clinton's in the same hall. So the background, you got it. So from I Ching, we developed a whole bunch of studies, including methods to predict the future. So this is not psychic or horoscope, because since we are living inside the universe, everything that happened is not incidental. Everything happened for a reason. And if you look back at your personal life, look back at many years of your life, and all the things happen, don't you agree with me that things happen for a reason, good or bad? The key is not to know the reason afterwards, is to know the reason beforehand. That way you can better the rest yourself. The best definition of the word success is just one note ahead of everybody else. That's all you need. Winning like Olympics, 1 millisecond ahead of the other guy, you win. So the purpose of this seminar is to help us all to look at the future, and then also a little bit reflection back for the past and see how accurate that is. I probably have to say that based on CNN and based on CBC and CTV, I have reached a little bit in excess of 90% accuracy every year after year. That's why CNN interviewed me the other time, for that reason. Okay, so now, every year, we cover the year with certain important numbers. So the sequence for today is we're going to give you a big picture of the world, different locations, different types of businesses, different kinds of issues with different place. But then at the end, we'll quickly cover some horoscope stuff just for the fun of it. Okay, because the rest you can read my books. By the way, this whole book and the small booklet most of you may have, I wrote it when I was flying in Air Canada in the 15-hour flight to Hong Kong or Beijing. So during in the plane, I just wrote the whole thing, year after year. When I'm in Toronto, I didn't even have time to write one single word because I work basically 12 to 14 hours every day, 7 days a week. Because people come see me from more than 70 countries, okay, worldwide, so very hectic. And I just got back from Miami 2 days ago. In the 4 days in Miami, Thursday to Sunday, I saw 23 clients. And Saturday alone, I worked 17 hours non-stop set from 8 a.m. until 1 a.m., morning to morning. So that's the kind of energy you need to develop. In order to develop this good energy, you must have good health. In order to have good health, you must have good attitude. To have good attitude, you must know a little bit about the future. Okay, so you don't get kind of paranoid about the future, whether or not you're going to die or something. Okay, so that's what this is also about. Now, 2017 is a year of water. And the governing number for this year is the number 1. Okay, 1 is a very significant number. In terms of I Ching, 1, this is called water. Okay, binary mathematics. Got it? 0 and 1. Now, the dotted line is 0. The dotted line is 1. The solid line is 0. So we begin with 0, go all the way. So that's binary mathematics from 0 to 1. So this one is very significant. Significant is because, number 1, even the governing number is water 1, but the governing I Ching is fire and thunder. So this year we're going to have a huge mixture of fire and water. Governing 2017, that means year of change for the world. Major change. And a lot of instabilities. Okay? Now, so this year, the governing power is essential, 1, which is represented by one specific country, China. Now, China has 2 separate elements in it. As the Feng Shui side of China, China is classified Earth country. As a life cycle of China, China is in the life cycle of wood. I have done one article a long time ago to describe the last 5,000 years in China, dynasty to dynasty to dynasty. I used the method of yin and yang, the 5 elements, and very precisely describe what happened in every dynasty. And I also did a line chart for China, and that line chart showed me exactly the 10 years when China had the Cultural Revolution. So it was to happen. It's not something they could avoid. If they did not have the Cultural Revolution, China would be gone, period. So it's the lesser of 2 devils. The Cultural Revolution was bad, but it's a lesser devil than China being gone for those 10 years. And it could be calculated. Every country has a life cycle. Okay, so the cycle is very important to recognize. Now, because of mixture of fire and water, that means also huge turbulence, huge change. Now, there's a huge economic war between China and US now. Very subtle, no weapons needed, no bloodshed, but very serious war going on, economic war. So, China, the major change in new policies, and also much younger generation of leaders. Number 3, almost 100% of them are very highly educated. So that's the one major change because fire is education. The governing power for 1 is China. That means they are going through this with very highly educated leadership for the future. Very important to know. That's number 1. The anti-corruption thing will continue, but will be less severe. Don't forget the anti-corruption thing is 2/3 real, 1/3 anti-parties. So it's a mixture of 2 things. But there will be also a lot of natural disasters worldwide this year, unfortunately. So there would be another major earthquake, okay, somewhere in China, toward the southwest side of China, maybe. And also the lots of wind problems on the northeast side of China. And on the north side of China, lots of sandstorms that cause the smog. Smog is mainly caused by 3 reasons. Number 1, coal burning, coal. Number 2, especially November, December time, sandstorm from Mongolia. And number 3, too many cars that are not regulated for the exhaustion, not like that. So 3 major reasons. All those are about to change. I was in northwestern China back in April last year. Gansu, I don't know if you heard of it. That place was enormously clean, blue sky, amazing. Why? They are into natural fuel for the cars. Majority of cars are burning just the natural fuel, no gasoline, very little gasoline. And China is getting more into electric cars, so that's the future. So that's China. And USA is into the life cycle of 3 for this year. 3 means one very interesting thing, arguments, controversies. So then this is a year of controversies that US is going to produce, to involve. But economically, US will do very well this year. Amazing, it's a breakthrough year for them, okay? Unfortunately, there's also a major issue in USA, southeast part, good and bad. For example, Florida. A lot of people ask me, should they buy a house in Florida? I said, how long are you going to keep your house there? 10 years, buy it. 1 year, forget it. Okay? The reason is, the future is Florida because a lot of New York cars I've seen in West Palm Beach a few days ago. A lot of Quebecois snowbirds were there. But the problem is not because USA, the problem is Brazil. You'll be surprised to find out how much Brazil money has been in Florida, especially in Miami. They're pulling the money out back to Brazil because Brazil has no money now. Got into financial major hassle, especially this coming year. Okay? So a lot of money being pulled out, the real estate market literally sinks like a stone, certain areas. People in Canada, they don't see it. I was in the heart of it since I'm an advisor to so many corporations in Florida. So I could get into the guts of it. They seek my advice as how to run their companies for this year, where to do, what to do. So very strategic. So touching on that topic, USA's would, a lot of people thought, wow, with Donald Trump getting in, would they declare war with China? Quite the opposite. I think he will be friends with China. Arguments, the friends. I give you 2 very exciting historic facts most people don't realize. 1971, who was the president? Richard Nixon. Remember that one? What did Richard Nixon do? Never mind, every politician lied to a certain degree. Otherwise, they cannot be a politician. No, he was the one that helped China get into the United Nations. Second, Ronald Reagan, who took China to World Trade, Republicans. Okay, Republicans, even though it's anti-whatever, but money-oriented. If it's good for the pocketbook, they would do it. And I think that's what Donald would do. Good for the pocketbook. Going to do more business with China instead of less. So that's against most analysts said the opposite. But I stick to what I just said. And so that means you're going to see business booming. How can they manufacture my iPhone in USA instead of $1,000? Mine would be $2,000 plus. Who's going to afford it? And then Walmart would go, Dollarama would be in the toilet. Okay, so it can happen. It had to be some way they're going to watch. But the key thing is because of arguments, He can always argue that he didn't do it, wanted to do it, but then all these people can come to terms so he can do it. So it's not his fault, it's everybody else's fault. So that's what happened in the USA. On the west side, Western Europe would also be great turmoil. Because the Europe turmoil is going to boost up the US dollars. One reason why US dollars will continue to be very high in this year was because Europeans lost directions. They don't know what to follow. So they follow the US dollars to boost it up, which also has many repercussions. Okay, when you look at economy. All right? So now on the eastern front, southeastern front, that's called the Joy Center, but it's a fire center. It's a fire center that means Southeast Asia is going to have quite a bit of problems with the land earthquakes in particular. There will be major earthquakes in the island west side, northwest side of Java. Anybody to Indonesia? One of the wealthiest countries in the world, wealthier than you thought. Right now, just a little bit of background. I have become the chief advisor to the 9th and 10th wealthiest man in Indonesia. The 9th one, I'm helping him, his corporation, to look after 23 projects in Jakarta alone, totaling $2.1 billion, and I'm the chief advisor. So every now and then they call me for advice, when to do which project, what to do, how to do it. And one of the projects I'm helping them with is to build a whole island from the ocean, northwest of Jakarta. It's called reclaiming the island. And that could be put to rest right now because economically, the entire South Asia has trouble in this coming year. So it may have to be delayed. And the architect for 3 of the 23 projects, you guys should know him. He's the one who designed the Albert Hotel in Dubai. So my client flew him from London, England to Jakarta, flew me from here to Jakarta, we met up. And we are the only 3 people, including the boss, who wear jeans and also a normal shirt. All the people following us, tuxedos, more or less. And I hardly have to write anything. I got 3 architects following me, they make the notes for me. Okay, so that's the power you can have when they recognize your capability. So that's Indonesia, but not the earthquakes, unfortunately. Okay, and the south side is the trouble center for this year. You're going to see a lot of economic turmoil, a lot of mugging and extortions in South America this year. So as south side, as it happened, Malaysia, Vietnam, all would be going through a turmoil period this year. And also major illnesses, somehow met naturally speaking. Southwest side is the warring center, governed by the number 7. Okay, a lot of USA culture believe 7 lucky number. Anybody thought 7 is lucky number? Why? The lucky 7, they all die. Anybody watch that movie? There's a new Lucky 7 movie going on. I saw it in Air Canada last week. At the end of the movie, I still couldn't figure out what it's trying to say. Took a lot of IQ to do that. But anyways, the 7 number means something very interesting. WAR, 7 means war. In terms of I Ching, in Southwest is the warring season. So there could be some new issues about Tibet. It's been quiet for many years. This year is coming back again. And the problem will be Southwest USA, will be outside LA, the ocean. There will be some earthquakes, worth to watch. Okay, now, so we cover the West and the other part. What about Northwest? Northwest is sickness center for this year. It's governed by the number 2. Okay, so sickness meaning a lot of origins of problems. Could be farming, could be cattle or pigs, something like that. So watch out North Alberta. Alberta may have an issue with it because of the sickness origin coming from it. Now, northeast side is an interesting center. Northeast side is a learning and planning center governed by the number 4. A lot of people from Hong Kong thought 4 is a bad number, meaning death or something is BS. 4 is one of the absolute best number mankind ever created. I would never live in the house without the number 4. So my house is 24. Years ago, I had a builder on Duncan Avenue, Richmond, who couldn't sell any of the houses for 40, 24, 44. None of them could sell. They gave my advice, so I helped them feng shui the project, loan them a certificate. Everybody wanted to buy those houses, gone. And so no more 4 houses. It's okay, just education, that's all. Get it in mind. So Northeast is a learning center, meaning there will be, last year, whoever were here, remember I said Samsung would be in big trouble in 2016. Anybody remember what I said? Okay, remember? And were they in trouble? Okay. So Samsung is trying to come back. They would come back with new technology. Does any one of you know that LG has done quite a bit of work for Apples? Yes. You don't know that, eh?
Yeah.
So you got some insider information. I cannot leak out who gave me the information. It's a senior person in Apples, who's my client. Okay, so that's what it was. So another breakthrough of technology would come from Northeast. If you bring back to this side of the world, that means somewhere in New York and Boston, typified by the evergreen universities, there will be new discoveries that will help the future of the world a lot. Now, the east side, okay, is the very interesting center too. It's a money center for this year. If you have your house facing east, for this year you probably make a lot of money. But it's also the triple conflict center, meaning there could be controversy, robberies, arguments, things like that. And it's trying to explode financially in a good sense, but it's being held back. And that part of the world will be represented by Japan. Now Japan is making a very important economic move. They may actually become United States' biggest creditor, overtaking China's position. Good or bad, time will tell. I think it's a huge mistake. Okay. All right, so that's what's going to happen. So, but that also means Japan's economy will be better. And Japan, as a matter of fact, would have continued to have argument with China, but in a more mild manner, not like last year. That's the thing. Now, I left one important one as the last one for the 8 directions and 9 positions. North. North is represented by 2 important countries, Russia and Canada. They're both classified as water countries. So from a feng shui point of view, Canada is a water country, represented also by the number 1. As a life cycle is concerned, 2017, Canada is represented by the number 6. 6 means 2 things. Number 1, 6 means traveling. Number 2, money. Canada would do better than people thought. Okay. Now several things would happen to Canada. Unfortunately, one already happened yesterday. I predicted it beforehand, but I didn't get a chance to tell everybody. The Canadian government just would imitate China's policy to make their leaders younger. You're going to see a lot of young leaders in the federal government. Okay, and it's happening. Number 1. And the old folks will still have a honeymoon job. Ambassadors. You just don't want to be ambassador in Turkey, any other country. Okay? Yeah, make sure you don't trust the bodyguard behind you. Okay, when I was in, do you know that I arrived at Fort Lauderdale last week on Thursday, and Friday they had a shooting? Anybody heard about that? Same airport that I landed? In Fort Lauderdale. And there was a soldier. But that raises a major issue. Soldiers carry guns, police carry guns. Soldiers got crazy, can shoot you, so as police. And so that's USA build the country with guns. They may get the country in big trouble with guns also. And I did a reading 3 months ago in Kansas, just as a reflex. And I did a reading in Cessna. Everybody heard about Cessna? They manufacture corporate airplanes. I did feng shui reading for the senior manager there. But when I got to the door, they have a big sign, 3 words, nothing more, 3 words. Guess what the 3 words are? Guns not allowed. big, huge words, guns are allowed. I said, isn't that normal, guns are allowed? I said, not true in Kansas. Everyone can own a gun without a license. In fact, my client, who's actually is a lady, carry one gun in the seat, one gun in the purse, one gun in the glove box, 3 guns in the car. I said, that means if you go to Kansas, please don't argue with anyone. Be a philosopher, just smile, don't argue. And do you know in Florida, if somebody shoots you dead in their home, they're free. You're gone, but they're free. No criminal charge. So if you argue with someone in Florida, please go out the home first. Don't do it inside. But when you look at the big picture, over time, isn't that crazy? Isn't that a major issue? In Canada, at least we don't have it. So Canada, being in the water country, would have many things good opening for us. For example, the natural energy resources, the pipes would open up that have been held back before. And also China and Canada will shake hands more than ever before. More than ever before. So that's very interesting. Okay, so that's on the big picture of the world. Now let's focus on a very important part, Toronto, or Canada in general. In Canada, where is the money center for this year? Guess. Toronto. Once again. No, talking about Canada. In USA, the money center is to New York and Washington for this year. There's lots of trouble there. Yeah, the New York's real estate is horrendously expensive, and you have a lot of bonus. When you buy a new house in New York, the 2 major bonuses you got, you know what they are? They're lots of protein, mice and cockroaches. Did you know that? Tons. In fact, I had a client who moved down to Miami for one reason. He was going to have a good poop in the washroom, and the big thing fell on his shoulder, a big cockroach, with the wings still flat. From that point on, he decided to leave New York, just like that. Just like that, no more. Terrible, but that's a bonus. You get cockroaches and mice as a bonus for New York. Unless you are in Manhattan, that would be better. Okay. So this is very hard to change because cities grow. Now, Toronto is very important. A lot of people ask me, I must talk about some very important thing. That is businesses. Now, but I want to leave Toronto for a little vacuum for now and cover the details later. Businesses. The number 1 business for change for this year, metals. We are going to have a record year of car sales. Anybody in the car business? But this is also a record year for car recalls. Lots are going out, lots are coming back. That means the car service business will also boom. They've been quiet last year. They're going to boom this year. So cars, number 1. Metals. If you are in the scrap metal business, the last 2 years have been bad, but scrap metal business began to climb up as I predicted by September last year. And it did. It did because I am advisor to a big scrap metal company in Miami. And I told my friend, be patient. Be patient. That was January last year. Wait until August and September, you see the change. He said he couldn't believe in 3 months' time, he made so much money more than he could make in the last 2 years combined from scrap metal. And my prediction was right on the punch about the timing when it would happen. Okay, so scrap metal. So a lot of people also ask, how's gold going to do? Gold, silver, platinum will do very well this year. It would, overall, they will go up. Copper also will go up. Okay, that what does it tell you when they go up? That means China is going to boom. Because a lot of these will go to China. Either this way, directly, or this way, indirectly. One way or the other. Okay, so that's very important to know. Okay, so now, metals include many things, and I mentioned a few. Second thing that will also be very interesting is water. Business for this year. Water business will include logistics, okay, UPS stuff, internet purchasing. It's all to do with water. okay, mobilities, travel businesses. You're going to be able to travel very inexpensively. In November, I went to Beijing to do some work, but my sister, who's a travel agent, helped me in Vancouver, signed me up for a tour. You know how much the tour cost me to join the travel? Is zero, no fee. 5 days hotel, 3 meals a day, all this excursion stuff, all paid for. You just have to do some shopping, which would be normal. If I bring my wife, she would do shopping regardless of me. So that would be more than paid for. Amazing, zero. You travel China with zero, and very nice hotels. So that's a sort of thing. Crazy, isn't it? Okay, but it works. It works. So that is the travel side, and also anything to do with water, but such as fuel, or different forms of fuel. That is not necessarily gasoline. It's going to come big time. The third thing that would be for change, a good change, would have been suffering for the last 10 years. Clothing business, so many gone under. But this is a 1 year breakthrough for clothing business. New styles, new materials, okay, and also new form of healing, because natural healing is also wood. So you can see some breakthroughs there. Now on the opposite side of the scale, fire and earth will suffer a bit. That means high tech, there will be mergers, there will be new directions, there will be layoffs. Okay, and also education will be very fierce, very unusual. But that earth is concerned. Earth, the most typical earth is real estate, followed by pharmacies, pharmaceutical. We are going to see many new forms of medication drugs coming out, and we're going to see a lot of side effects with a lot of them. Do you know that if you overtake Tylenol, your liver will fail? Anybody know that? Okay. Do you know that if you take hormone a lot due to menopause, you have 90% chance of cancer? Okay. Now, medication side effects. Why? Because we have two detoxic organs in the body, the liver and the kidneys. So if you take too much medicine, quick fix, fine, one shot done. But prolonged, it will find a way into these two organs, and your immune system governed by your liver channel will weaken. And you have other kinds of problems such as lupus, such as fibromyalgia, such as mental illness, all due to the liver channel not balancing. A lot of mental issues are related to the liver channel. Very important to know. And the kidneys finally will also get blown up because of this. So this year, 2017, you see a lot of that to be announced one way or the other because of these drugs. So be very careful about that. So there will be a lot of controversies about drugs, including marijuana, for this year. Now, the other side of the earth is real estate. Real estate becomes very extremely unstable this year. So that means the good becomes better, the bad becomes worse. So it's not good or bad where you are and when you are. That's the key about real estate. So that's why I want to leave Canada for this last part. Now, Canada, Vancouver will continue to be very controversial. That means the houses are going to suffer a bit. But they're way too high anyways. Okay, I don't believe people pay $15 million to buy a piece of garbage. Can't even live it. Okay, but Toronto is more stable. And then the central part, Paris, the real estate side will continue to be suppressed because fuel like oil will continue to be depressed this year. You can come to me and argue, no, I just saw all this gasoline going up. The gasoline has not gone up, it's the taxes that gone up. You know, you're paying for a $10 base, $1 for gas, $9 for tax. All levels of tax. That's why I couldn't believe in USA the gasoline is less than half of Canada. Half. The cars are half of us. Couldn't believe it. So something, we're overly taxed. How come Canada still can poor? Because I don't know who works in the government. Okay, it's the efficiency level. is the way they manage money. It's a major issue. Okay, if I were the Canadian government, I would set up a 1 week policy. All the underground money surveys put in the bank, 1 week, close the door, done. You know how much wealthier Canada would be? Because these people are forced to do underground economy because we are paid tax too much. A lot of money is taken from the workers to give people who don't like to work. Imagine welfare, you get more money, okay, than working for some job. And that's an example to tell you why people do it that way. See, the whole system will have to change, and this year is a year of change. They better do something. Okay, so in Toronto, real estate will be really hot in several areas. Downtown Toronto, north and northwest of Toronto. Richmond Hill, somebody asked me just now, he just left for a meeting. Richmond Hill, Aurora, Newmarket. Maple, King City, Kleinburg. These are the newborn babies going to be really booming this year. Okay. At the moment in Toronto, I'm advisor to 38 builders and 9 banks. So in a way, I know how the movements. Usually, these builders will consult me where and when and what to build, 3 words. And I gave them the honest opinion. Because if they make the wrong decision, they can go under. Don't forget, when you have lots of money, you also have lots of risk. They are all proportional. So they need someone like myself to project the future, map out Toronto, and decide what to do, what not to do. Very important. Now, the troublesome areas will be the west and southwest side. So they won't do as well. Okay, so that's the one thing to watch out. Markham is flat, is so-so, not booming like the other parts I mentioned. The east side and southeast side, but in south Scarborough, be careful about one thing. I hope they are listening to what I said. There could be a lot of house fires in Scarborough and South Scarborough this year. So I hope they remember that. Okay? Now, so that's the economy. So those plans of mine, in real estate business, don't worry. Just remember where the centers are. Okay, so very important to know. Now, as the weather is concerned, this year continue to have quite a bit of natural disasters, especially to do with wind and water and fires, 3 things. So many areas. But we are in a lucky city. Toronto is a city of joy. Toronto is governed by the number 9 and also number 8 for this year. Combination 8 and 9 for 2017. So we are doing not bad. All right. Now, so as health is concerned, the major issue will have to do with water issues. The water you drink, the water you put in, but also contagious illnesses, something from the air. So those are the 2 main sources to watch out for. All right? So that's the big picture of the world. I'm okay for time? Any questions before I move to the science?
Thank you, Mr. Ng. Could you tell us what you think about the Canadian dollar? We've been around the 75, 76 cent mark compared to the USD. Could you tell us what your thoughts are?
Because US dollars, as I said, for the next 6 months, will continue to go up. 6 months later, you're going to see quite a bit of instabilities in the US. People began to wonder. But Mr. Trump will enjoy at least a 6-month honeymoon. Okay? As such, Canadian dollars will always bounce up and down around 75, not much higher, not much lower. Don't worry about that. Okay, the strategy for the Canadian economy is to hook up with countries such as China. But Canada and China have been friends since the late 19th century. You know that? The Chinese Revolution in 1911, a lot of money came from Canada, not to China.
So Chinese capital outflows, is that going to get worse?
Now, there's an old Chinese saying, when the governor had a way, the devil has a different way. You heard about that? So when the saint, the sacred, goes up 1 foot, okay, the devil can go up 10 feet. So there would be ways for them to do it. Besides this temple, it can change. Yes?
Paul, what's going to happen between England and Europe on Brexit?
Last year, excellent question. We have 3 major surprises in 2016. The whole world predicted Hillary. I predicted Hillary up to November. I said if the election was held before November, she'll win. After November, there'll be trouble because 2016 favored women. But toward the end of 2016 to 2017 favored men. There's a cutover point was November. Timing. That's number 1 upset. Number 2, everybody thought British were so smart they would not leave Europe. And they did. The third, they said Mr. Harper was so experienced, the PC would get back in, the truth would come in, and he was not even really in politics before. 3 major surprises for last year. Which is it good or bad? I think surprises are always good if you look at it positive. Okay, I think Mr. Trudeau, for one thing, would do a good job because I think that guy is on a lucky cycle. It looks pretty good. At least we have a handsome prime minister rather than a bad-looking one. Not bad, eh? It's not good. And then that's it. Thanks to Syria. Okay. Without the immigration forcing, they would not leave. So for the long term, for short term, yes, they're in big trouble. For long term, life goes on. I think England would be okay.
They're going to have a second vote, though, or they're going to leave it.
The real problem with England is not with Brexit, it's with Scotland. Scotland may not want to leave Europe, EU, so that's a hard one. That's hard one politically. But otherwise, don't worry, the economy will be okay. I still have friends going to study in England, spending money there. I say for my heart is real. And a lineup for garbage. Okay, any other questions? Nobody asked about Hong Kong, they're surprised? No? Hong Kong actually
I think she's going to run.
a little bit better than last year. But no matter who gets in, the black horse I don't think has come out yet.
Oh, yeah.
We're waiting for the black horse to come out. The black horse had to be related to Beijing, one way or the other. Right now, none of these people trying to run would win.
What's the black horse?
What's the black horse?
What do you black horse?
A black horse is somebody most of you have not noticed yet. Okay.
So it's a male or female?
It's going to be a male. Male, because 2017 is for the male. And this male would not be the older blood or younger blood, probably would be middle in the family.
Nick, are you getting
With second or third blood in the family.
Nick, you got this?
Now, time is limited. Let me quickly. Any other important questions about your jobs or something? I'll just say one thing quick. The whole world really is getting screwed up, like facing a major change. Thanks to high tech and them to high tech. Okay? I was in, last month, I had a client who came to see me to do a light chart for her husband. I said, your husband should have come to see me 1 year earlier because he may be at the point of bankruptcy. Based on the light chart, based on his life cycle. And so I prescribe ways how to get out of it. Why would he be in bankruptcy? Then we talk about the real reason. He and 2 other guys tried to develop a huge shopping center in Fujian. In Fujian. You know, southeastern China. Okay, those are all Fujian people here. You know, 80% of Chinese Chinese supermarkets are owned by Fujian people in Toronto. And I'm advisor to 1/3 of them, so I can't help it. Okay. Now, the problem was business suddenly turned opposite. And then restrictions of zoning, other reasons. The most important thing, the largest investor went bankrupt. He went bankrupt, that was fine, but he was holding on the title of the project. And 2 other groups wanted to buy this project to develop condominiums. But he couldn't get a title, so the whole thing was frozen. I said the window is before end of February coming. If you can get this title back, get these 2 partners in, you survive. Failing which, you'll be bankrupt. Just a matter of time, 2 months. But what I'm saying is, leading to is the way we used to go shopping is all changing. Pretty soon you may go into a store, instead of a handsome Bob sitting here, you see a beautiful robot lady coming to you. Okay, you probably have to write your card on the head or chest or something and get paid. Something like that. All that is coming. Now another dangerous thing, the most endangered species, banking. Banking is terrible. How they're going to survive. But the key is not survival. The key is to be able to see the future jobs. Where are the future jobs going to be? I guarantee within the next 10 years, it's better to be a carpenter or electrician than an electrical engineer. I guarantee that one at least you have a job, you will be your boss. Okay, if you're an engineer, there aren't too many engineering jobs in Canada anyways.
One last question. Immigration, when are we going to start opening it up more? Because right now the only way to get in is Quebec.
Now we have somebody from Somalia to open it up. They're going to have more Somalian refugees coming. Anyways, that's a joke. But I think all this will be eased off because Canada itself, after all, is an immigrant country. So is USA. Okay, if you've been to my home every Friday night from a Qigong class, among my 30 to 40 students, minimum 14 different nationalities. The world is one nation, one people. So I think they will open it up a bit. Because the immigrants bring us new blood, new energy, and new money. So that's really important. Okay, now quickly.
Your phone is ringing, so you have to change. Go ahead.
No, let them ring because I only got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Cover this.
Yeah.
Quickly cover the horoscope signs. I hate to do that part, but everybody's in the right
I
level.
know.
You know why? Because when you talk horoscopes, it's personal. Okay.
For those of you who are here the first time, we do this every year at this time.
Okay, what year is this year? One rooster. This is not one rooster. It's a fire rooster. It's not fire rooster. No. It's yin or soft fire. And this year is double yin. The element fire is yin fire, soft fire. This rooster sign is yin metal. So this year is begins to fire and to metal. But it's yin. Yin meaning one thing, soft, uncertain, or quietly get things done. That's the meaning of it. Roosters are born in 1945, 57, 69, 81, 93. Anybody born in 93? Okay. Now they say if you're the same side, it means something negative. Yes and no. The roosters are actually doing not badly. As long as you don't gamble, you rest well, do more exercise, then the rooster person actually is okay. When you're in a conflict year, there are 4 signs that are in conflict with this year. So rooster is one of them. Okay? So as long as you do that, you'll be fine. Who can help the rooster person more? The most? Dragon or snake. To associate with those people, to work together with those people, that would help. Okay? And then people relations with the roosters, not bad. I don't know what business you may be in if you're a rooster. If you're in the business to do with financial or with people, it's not too bad. Now the next sign after rooster is a dog. Born in 1946, okay, 58, 70, 82, 94. 1 and more dogs, the best. I remember one year when I came here, I said in Canada the best animal to be is a dog. They're well loved. Okay, they get to live with beautiful owners. They have the best food, better than what we eat. So dogs this year had a little bit of conflict with the rooster. Conflict in a way that is people conflict. But if you are a lawyer, you are something to do with government officials, your police, And if you're a dog person, you do very well. And also, there's a blood sign associated. So if you're in a business to do a blood, such as a doctor, a surgeon, or butcher, as a dog, you're fine. So the person you should associate with, if you buy your dog, is a monkey. Monkey can help the dog a lot this year. The next sign is a pig. Me and Bob. Okay, 3 pigs here, 3 little pigs. Born in 1935, 47, 59, 71, 83. Any other pigs? You know, pig has one thing that stands out different from all the other 11 signs. Pigs usually have a huge circle of friends. They're very friendly animal. You know how many friends I have in Toronto alone, never mind the world? More than 10,000 people. My friends in Toronto alone. My friends around the world, I can't even count. Okay. People follow discipline in Qigong and Tai Chi already exceeded 5,000 people. So I teach it for free, don't worry. Okay. So anyways, pigs are into very spiritual endeavors. They are also into mobilities. One of the most mobile signs of the 12 signs are the boars. When they go to Hong Kong, or China. Okay, so I already got this whole world for me mapped out for 2017. I'll be in Australia in March, I'll be in Cambodia in April. I already bought the plane tickets. So lots of traveling for the pig. And also, if you're a teacher, you're a speaker, you're a philosopher, you have something to do with research, the pig person will do very well. Okay, and people, anything to travel with people. So Justin, you may need to go to China.
I'm going to go to China.
You better learn Mandarin. Okay.
Mandarin girlfriend.
You know, for the next 40 years, all you need is English and Mandarin. You'll conquer the world. That's it. Now, next sign is a rat. Any rats here? Born in 1948, 67 to 84, 96. Now, rats and the rooster had a bit of thing called blinking conflict. That means if you are in the demolition business, okay, you are a renovator, you are a rat, you're great. You make lots of business. If not, be prepared that anything you want to do, you may have to take a setback before you jump further. So that's the key. Don't be afraid of setback. Next one, the ox, one of the best signs. 1949, 61, 73, 85. Ox and the rooster form a golden connection. A lot of people need to go to workshop at a bit quick. I'll be speaking like an auctioneer. How's that? Okay. So the ox, very fine year, lots of help from most walks of life. If you want to expand your business, do so. If you work for someone else, suppose you, Master Ing said you deserve a raise, a promotion. Really do well. Okay, now tigers, 1950, 62, 74, 86. Tiger, wow. Tigers are into power and authority. Okay, but there's a little sign to drive carefully. If you use a knife and needle, be careful. But otherwise, if you are in a position of authority or you haven't been into authority, you can do it. Ask for it. People will give you a lot of respect, such as my good friends here for the past more than 20 years, right?
I am a rabbit.
Well, and we know we started for about 20-some years, when he was a kid. He's the only non-Chinese can speak better Chinese than Chinese. Okay, rabbits, 1951, 63, 75, 87. Rabbits and roosters are opposite. No gambling, no stock market. Tell your stockbroker, if you want to sell something to make a long term, don't cash out this year. But that is the key to counteract the conflict, mobilities, travel. It's like doing self-defense. When people punch you, you're going to take it, you run away, something like that. Travel, enjoy it, and don't gamble. Okay. Now, dragons, 1952, 64, 76, 88, any dragons? The number one most imaginative sign. That's the number one sign for 2017. Relations, excellent. You haven't been married yet, have you?
I have.
Oh, then make sure you don't get a girlfriend. We got lots of good people relations. This is very connecting here. Okay, and if you want to expand your job, your business, please do it. Don't worry. Very good year for the job. Power and money together. Okay, snake is the second best sign. Snakes 1953, 65, 77, 89 snakes. The most beautiful sign of 12 signs. Because my wife is a snake. Snakes connect with the rooster and the golden connection, opportunities. One of the wealthiest signs for this year is snake. Your investment will come back big time. Investments, a little bit gambling, just make sure you don't indulge, you'll be okay for the snake. Good sign. Okay. Horses, 1954, 66, 78, 90. Any horses? The number one most impatient sign, most energized sign, and no horses, I don't believe it. Horses and the rooster also have a big sign, so they can fight a lot of times. You run into people, arguments, issues a lot. So if you're going to eat a horse, be patient. Lower down your temperament, then you'll be okay in dealing with people. But if you're in the breaking business, as I always said, renovation, demolition, horse, they will do very well. Sheep, 1955, 67, 79, 91, and sheep, the number one money manager, the number one accountant, sheep. The sheep is very neutral. The sheep is also the number 3 mobile sign for all the 12 signs. If you need to go to places a lot, travel a lot, less of your time inside the office at the desk, go out a lot, you do better. The more mobile, the better for you. The last, but not the least, the monkeys. 1956, 68, 80, 92, any monkeys? Monkeys are into promotion, into change. So if you want to change your job, and if you want to get a higher position, this is the year to do it. So with that, I think I conclude all the 12 signs. Time limited, so thank you very much.